What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Packers Rookie Preview. I am your host, Tyler Brook. Today, we're going over Iowa State safety Anthony Johnson Jr., 7th round pick for the Packers. Before we dive into that, another reminder about the 1,000 subscriber giveaway. We are very close to 1,000 subscribers, about to break 900. $100 gift card, a copy of my book, The Science of Football, to the winner. Next week, stay tuned. Well, not next week, this week. Stay tuned Thursday when we go over Grant DuBose, the wide receiver out of Charlotte. We'll announce a second way to enter into this contest. So make sure you subscribe to this video. Once we hit 900, again, ideally that's on Thursday, we can announce that second entry into the giveaway. But for now, why don't we go ahead and talk about Anthony Johnson Jr. out of Iowa State, break down why the Packers took a chance on him and how he might have a legitimate role in Green Bay. So Johnson was originally a cornerback for the Cyclones, but switched over to safety this past season. Kind of makes sense based on his play style, and we'll get into that a little bit. Comes in a little over 5'11 and a half, 205 pounds. Solid relative athletic score of 8.13. For his first season as a safety, he did quite well. He was second team All Big 12 in 2022. Over the course of his career, had plenty of production, 245 tackles, 14 of those for loss, 5 forced fumbles, 28 pass breakups, 2 interceptions. He was a 5-year starter, I believe. I could go back and look at that. But he, had tons of production, very interesting player. Again, second team All Big 12 for your first season in a new position is pretty impressive. So with that experience, let's go ahead and dive into the film, show you what stands out about Johnson. So before we get into it, we went over Texas, Oklahoma, and West Virginia film for Anthony Johnson Jr. And Iowa State runs a very specific defense. Typically, it's like something like a 3-3-5. And what that means, they run 3 deep safety looks. So you can see here, 1, 2, 3. So it's a specific scheme that's not really going to translate to the NFL level, which makes it a little harder to evaluate Johnson. That being said, did find enough film where I could feel confident about some skill sets that he has. So we have Johnson right here. Going to do a 3 deep look. And Oklahoma's trying to run some crossing routes, right? So this is a rough estimation, but he's going across here. This deep wide receiver's trying to cross here. Basically just get the safeties fooled, create some space naturally, right? So what we're seeing here come the crossers. Johnson backpedaling, going deep. He may be a little too deep, but again, who's to say? I don't know where his landmark is, don't know the scheme specifically. But as he notices that other wide receiver come across the formation, he comes with a stick. So again, see that. He sees the crosser. This guy's going under. This guy's going over. And as he sees that, again, Johnson right here, breaks down on it. Nice timing. Doesn't get in there too early, too late. It is a catch, but, I'll take it. That's a nice hit. It's nice recognition, especially from a route coming across the formation. It's just good eyes by Johnson. So, next one, we got Johnson here in the slot. His deep ball tracking is also very impressive. There's so many guys. I think it's probably from his cornerback experience, but guys in these situations when, they're getting targeted deep, they're going to grab, they're going to flail, and they're going to, draw too many penalties, which is unfortunate. But here, we've got a little smash concept, so that just means a little inside route here, and then just a slot fade. There, just try and clear some space. Johnson in the slot right there. So, we get that little smash, slot fade concept. Johnson. Look at him turn his head before the ball's even there. Appreciate that. He can tell when the wide receiver looks back for the ball. He's waiting for it. He tracks it. Nice interception. We'll take that. Fired up afterwards. I would be too. That's a tough play for a safety. Again, he used to play corner, so that helps, but it's a nice reaction from him. Good job tracking the ball. Getting it, instead of trying to grab or flail, he turns his head and tracks the ball, which is, it's difficult to teach some defensive backs to do that. So similar concept again. They're going to run another smash concept here. So again, in breaking route, fade, and Johnson's once again being targeted in the slot right there. So again, he's being tested. He has the play speed to stay in phase. Again, look at him turn his head instead of grabbing. He turns his head, trusts his body to be in phase with the wide receiver, so he's not giving up too much ground. Comes away with a nice pass breakup. I'll take that. I mean, again, I've watched so many cornerbacks, even some of the top prospects in a year, that'll just panic when it's a deep ball being tested. But he just feels comfortable turning his head, staying in phase with a wide receiver. It's a hard thing to coach, especially for a safety. Helps, again, with that converted experience. All right, next one. Here we go. Johnson. Here, he's going to basically just track the deep throw, right? He's playing deep. He's playing, looks like up the hash. And you can see as he realizes, the receiver on his side isn't really going deep. But the quarterback's gearing up to throw deep. So he realizes it's coming from across the formation. Let him pick up that speed, track it. He needs to come away with that ball. So not the best deep ball tracking, but he's at least able to break up the pass to get in the way of a potential touchdown. But again, just watch the change in speed from him right here. As soon as he realizes where it's going, picks up that pace. Again, wish he came away with the interception there. That's a little not great. And you can tell he's a little frustrated after that. But, hey, I mean, it's not a bad play. I'll take that, especially, again, it's a common theme in these first few plays, just the awareness, routes coming across the formation, just picking stuff up. Very impressed with that. He has a very good feel for coverage concepts, route concepts, helps him pick stuff up. So that's nice to see. So we got another one here, Johnson here at the top of the screen. Or not top of the screen, but back here. And he's just tracking the tight end here. And this isn't the most ideal play. He might be getting in too much depth. Again, I don't know the scheme. I don't know where his landmark is on his drop. But as he realizes the tight end's running a corner route, he does break on the ball. He does make a play. I think what I appreciate here, even though it is still a reception, is he does try to attack the ball at the catch point. Like, that's good timing right there to try and break it up. There's just strong hands by the tight end. But from his depth to recovering on that and breaking on it, I think he took the right angle. I thought he did a nice job trying to make a play on the ball. So I do appreciate that. And here, this is probably one of my favorite plays. It doesn't really mean much, but we got Johnson right here. And we got this weird quad set, right? So they're just trying to run a quick screen and have these three guys up front as blockers. Watch what Johnson does to this guy at the front. My mistake. Watch what he does to this guy. Boom. Knocks that guy down. Safeties, we need them to be physical. And though Johnson is undersized, he's just more of a big corner than a big safety. He's not afraid to embrace or contact with blockers. And what he should be doing here, if he's attacking this, especially on a screen, attack that outside shoulder, force the receiver back inside. You don't want to give up outside contain there, because if he goes inside, you're allowing a huge rushing lane, potentially a touchdown. So not only is it good discipline here by Johnson, but also just what a stick. Just lays out that blocker. That's one of my favorite plays I watched on film, and it doesn't mean a whole lot, but I need some dog in my safeties, right? Even though he's a little undersized, I do appreciate he's not afraid to get his nose dirty when needed. Johnson this time right there. Just an alley fill. What he can see here, number 2, the edge, is just way too far upfield. His linebacker's getting caught here, so clearly there's a natural seal here. Now what Johnson needs to do is keep outside containment. Do not let the running back bounce outside of him, but also don't get too far outside that you're giving up a rushing lane to cut back on. And this is a tough play for a safety in open space, but you can see here he's trying to stay somewhat close to this blocker. Don't overcommit outside, but keep outside contained. And then is able to wait for some help, grab at the legs. That's a discipline play and is a run fit for a safety. Again, we've talked about it with a couple prospects and how important run fits are. Because if one guy misses his assignment in the direction of that run, it can be an explosive play. So, I mean, he makes up for this edge getting too deep. Again, just nice job keeping outside contained, but not washing out too far outside to make a play on the ball. Got another one here from Johnson. And this is just, Bijan's open in open space. You're the last line of defense. At least just trip him up. I mean, that's the most you can ask for against a top 10 pick at running back. Is just, can you make a play in open space as a safety when you're the last line of defense? Can you just trip him up? And he did exactly that. I'll take it. Another great play here, goal line stand. They still have Johnson in. Again, undersized guy. They trust him in goal line situations, which is, I'll take that. Even if he is smaller, this is just a great play. He's just attacking at the snap. Completely sticks the running back. I mean, look at that hit. Full downhill. He completely stonewalls this guy at the goal line. That's a phenomenal play. I love that. I love that for my safety. So again, you can see that a little undersized, but you can see he's got good awareness, good aggressiveness. Will fly downhill. So there's some qualities there that you can work with, especially in a crowded safety room, and hopefully help him stand out a little bit. That being said, he's a 7th round pick, and we'll show a couple things he needs to work on. I didn't want to highlight too much of this because, again, just 7th round pick. I am a little surprised he was a 7th round pick. I had him a little bit higher on my big board. But that being said, there are some inefficiencies, right? So we got Johnson here. And, like I said, he does a good job reacting to, trading off assignments. So here we go. This guy's just trying to clear out for this underneath crosser. Now, Johnson does recognize it and breaks down. He just loses his balance. So, again, the awareness is there. It's just, can he flip his hips and turn? Because he loses his balance on that trying to recover. Isn't able to get it, which, again, something to monitor. Here, this is another one. I don't know if I need to knock Johnson on this, so I'm not going to try and judge too harshly on this play. But we've got Bijan Robinson actually in the slot right here. My teleprompter's a little jank right now, but you can see left side of the screen. You've got Johnson also on the left side of the screen, number 1. I'll just attempt to point that way. He's gaining too much depth here, it feels like. And then what I thought was interesting, compared to the safety on the other side, he's out of frame in this. Johnson flips his hips here. You can see he's committing. I'm not sure why. The other safety on the other side's staying square. So he's committing this way, and Bijan just breaks inside, forces Johnson to flip his hips, and he does it fairly quickly. But that's all the space that Bijan needs to create separation and get the catch. And I will say, for a running back, very advanced route runner. I'm very impressed with Bijan in downfield. But I'm not sure if this is scheme or what. Just not sure why he's flipping his hips that direction or flipping his hips at all on a throw one-on-one with the running back going deep. Here, we got Johnson, again, number 1. And this is probably not the best play to showcase this, but I saw it a lot on film where it feels like he's really slow to read his run-pass keys. And again, don't know if it's scheme, don't know if that's what he's coached, but it just seems delayed, and it makes him a little late to help in run support. So this is a draw. You can see clear polling blockers, and I know it's a quarterback run. But, yeah, we're not seeing Johnson break down until here. When the quarterback's already tucked, there's pullers. Clearly guys are running like they're trying to block people, and he's just a little delayed. Gets himself a little out of position. And unfortunately, that he is able to barely bring the quarterback down. And again, I admit, probably not the best play I could have shown you guys, but just one example. Again, probably a weaker example. Just a little slow with his keys for run pass. Can delay him getting him in trouble against the run. However, there are times where we actually see a quick trigger on this, which I appreciate. So we got Johnson here, and he's going to fly downhill, take a good angle, get at that outside contain, not getting too far in or out, and he's going to fly downhill. So when he reads it correctly, I mean, that's outstanding. That's outstanding work, especially Eric Gray, number 0, very shifty running back, very hard to bring down, and he's got a pulling blocker. The fact that he's able to get around that blocker and get a hand wrapped around Gray's legs, that's impressive. I do like seeing that. That's good to see. But here, I think when he does close effectively and aggressively, he can be a little out of control at times. We showed earlier in that that quad stack that he is able to take on blockers well. But here, it just seems like he's unprepared attacking downhill. And 22 is just, what is he, a tight end, fullback? I'm not entirely sure. Looks more like a tight end at this moment. Just not ready to take on that block cleanly, get extended, take it on with his hips. He's thinking he has a clean release, and he just kind of gets washed up here and isn't able to disengage. So just something he needs to be more heads up with when attacking downhill. We saw it. We saw his play strength isn't outstanding, but his aggressiveness is, and that makes up for a lot of those shortcomings. It's just he needs good technique when going on against bigger guys and being prepared for those blocks. Another one here, we've got number one, again, easy to spot from this angle when we have him in camera. Just sometimes, again, we're talking about that aggressiveness. When he doesn't have that aggressiveness and he's caught flat-footed, he's going to give up some yards after contact. Just kind of get bowled over. But, that's all we have today. Thank you for watching on Anthony Johnson. We'll wrap up the series on Thursday. After that, thinking about Jordan Love, talking about that game against the Eagles to start some different videos once Packers rookie previews are over. But if you have any other suggestions, leave it in the comments. Curious for what you guys think. We've had some good suggestions so far. Don't forget to subscribe and enter into that giveaway. Until then, though, we'll see you on Thursday. Thanks for watching.